Do you have a bunch of different Chase points, but you just don't exactly know how to use them? Well, in this video, I'm gonna give y'all a crash course to all of the different ways that you can actually redeem your Chase Ultimate Rewards points. Not only are we gonna cover all of the different redemption methods that you could do with your points, but we're also gonna talk about some that you should definitely look at using and some you should absolutely avoid. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna wanna do is navigate over to your Chase Ultimate Rewards portal. And once you get to this screen, you're gonna be able to see all of the different Chase cards that you have open. And it's gonna allow you to select the card that you wanna access. A big tip that I wanna mention as early as possible is that you want to be redeeming your points with your highest tier credit card to get the most value. And for me, my Chase Sapphire Preferred is my highest tier card, so I'm going to go ahead and click on that now. And now once you're redirected to your card account within the portal, you'll be able to see all of the points that you've accumulated with this Chase card, as well as all the things that this card has to offer you through the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal. But for this video, we're going to be talking all about the redemption methods that you can use with Chase. And to find that, you're going to want to navigate to this top drop down. And as you can see here, there are a ton of different menus that you can access from this little drop down menu. And the first one that I want to touch on is going to be the Combine Points tab. And this tab is going to be your friend whenever you go to redeem your points, because if you don't know this already, big tip number 2, you're going to be able to combine all the Chase points you've earned on any of your Chase cards onto one card that you want to redeem with. And as you can see here, these are all the 3 Chase cards that I have opened, and I can select any one of these cards to transfer from, and then select the card on the right that I want to transfer to. And since my Chase Sapphire Preferred is my highest tier card that I'm going to be doing all of my redemptions through, I'm going to go ahead and transfer all my points from my Chase Freedom Unlimited and my OG Chase Freedom card onto my Chase Sapphire Preferred. So all you'd have to do is go ahead and click on the card you want to transfer from, which is my Chase Freedom Unlimited in this case, and then to my Chase Sapphire Preferred. And I'm going to go ahead and transfer all of my points, which is 30,759. I'm going to go ahead and review that. And then you're going to see here that I have 0 points remaining on my Chase Freedom Unlimited, and then all of those points are transferred to my Chase Sapphire Preferred, so I'm going to go ahead and submit that. So that point transfer went through fine. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with my OG Chase Freedom. So I'm going to go back to Combine Points from my OG Chase Freedom to my Chase Sapphire Preferred, click on Next. I'm going to go ahead and move those grand total of 50 points over to my Chase Sapphire Preferred, and then go ahead and submit that. And there we are. We're all good. All my points are now onto my Chase Sapphire Preferred. Also, don't freak out if you accidentally transferred too many points to one of the cards or transferred all your points to the wrong card. You can do this back and forth as many times as you want. It's not going to affect your account in any way. As long as you're not transferring out the travel partners and you're within the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal, you can transfer between cards all you want. Okay, now we're back to the main home screen from my Chase Sapphire Preferred. We're going to go back into this menu and start talking about the redemption methods. So ignoring these card benefits and how to earn bonus points, we're going to go into the first redemption method, which is with Apple. Okay, now that we're on Apple's website through Chase's Ultimate Rewards portal, we're going to go ahead and pretend like we want to buy some Beats, for example. As you can see here, if we wanted to get these Power Beats Pro, for example, I can get that for $249.95 with cash, or I could pay with 24,995 points. So if you went ahead and took the cash price that you'd have to pay for these headphones up front and divided by the amount of points you could use to get those headphones instead, you would get 1 cent per point in value when shopping with Apple through Chase's Ultimate Rewards portal. So technically that's really not that bad. I would say with Chase points, at a very minimum, you should be getting 1 cent per point in value, just because, as you'll see later, you can always get cash back at 1 cent per point with Chase, so you're never going to want to be redeeming for any less than that. Because of course, if you could cash out at 1 cent per point with cash, then you can go buy whatever you want with that money that gets deposited into your bank account. So just to have the freedom to spend your money wherever you want, I would always recommend doing cash back over even using Apple's website through Chase's Ultimate Rewards portal, even though you're already getting 1 cent per point using this method. So Apple, pretty simple. It looks like about everywhere I've checked so far, you get 1 cent per point in value when using your points. Now the next redemption we'll talk about is going to be this cashback. Okay, now the cashback screen is probably the most simple screen of them all. It basically shows you that $1 is equal to 100 points. So once again, that's going to be 1 cent per point in value that you get when redeeming for cashback. So if I wanted to right now, I could cash out all 154,298 points that I have with Chase to $1,542.98 in cashback. Also, there are multiple different ways that you can redeem your cashback into your pocket. The first way you can do it is to actually offset your credit card bill with that cashback that you just redeemed. So I could send all those points straight to my Sapphire Preferred credit card bill, which could be a useful thing to do. But if I were in your shoes, I would probably always deposit it to an external account, mainly because, again, I don't really want to be tied down to having to use just that credit card to get that statement credit. I like to have it in my bank account so I could use it wherever I want to. You could also add other deposit accounts here, and if you were to do that, you just have to put in all of the bank information, of course. But like I said, I'd probably almost always go with the depositing to an external account rather than doing it with your credit card. So this is a big reason that I recommend Chase so highly, because not only can you use these points for travel, as we'll see later, for even higher value than this, but you always have the ability to redeem your points for cashback at 1 cent per point, which is not the same case for other lenders out there like Amex, for example, where you're only going to get 0.6 cents per point when redeeming for cashback, unless you have the Charles Schwab version of the Amex Platinum card. So for simplicity's sake, Chase's points are really easy to use and very beginner friendly. Now, of course, I'm not going to redeem all my points right now for cashback, so let's go ahead and move over to the next redemption category, which is going to be dining. Now, there's a lot of different things that you can do within Chase's dining portal, and I've actually never even used it myself, but I've heard that you can get some really good value out of it if you do like to use portals like this. So just to show you some examples, let's say that we wanted to actually do a pickup order in Austin, Texas, and we're going to set that date to next Saturday, for example, at 7 p.m. Let's go ahead and search that. As you can see here, it shows you some of the ways that you can actually use your Chase Ultimate Rewards points through Chase's dining portal if you look at this left tab. So the first thing you can do is do some prepaid pickup. And let's say we wanted to go to this Red Ash Italia. We could go ahead and go down to 7 p.m., for example, and start making our order. And as you can see here, all of the menu items are going to be worth 1 cent per point in value when using your points to redeem. So this is another great example where you might just want to actually redeem your points for cash back instead of using the dining portal in this case. That way you have the flexibility to actually use your cash instead of your points, meaning that you'll actually earn some points on that spend since you're using cash and not your points, but that may not always be the case. As you can see here, you can also use your points for the service charges that they might charge you. And for the most part, I have seen that 1 cent per point is a pretty good valuation for Chase Dining, but I have seen some examples online of people getting special discounts on their food purchases when paying with points through Chase Dining. So I would always check this if one of your favorite restaurants is on here. But the other really nice thing about Chase Dining is if you want to do some dine-in options, you can make reservations at these restaurants through the portal, which you might not be able to find everywhere. So this is a pretty cool little perk if you do like to dine out often. Also, let me know down below if you've been able to get more value than just 1 cent per point through Chase's dining portal, because I'd love to hear your personal experiences and learn how to do that myself. Now, moving on to the next way you can redeem your Chase points is going to be gift cards. So the gift cards tab is pretty straightforward. Obviously, if there's a specific store or place that you'd like to have a gift card for, say for somebody's birthday or something like that, you can come to this tab in Chase's Ultimate Rewards portal and actually get a physical or a digital gift card mailed to you or just given to you through email. And for the most part, for things like Airbnb, for example, you could use 2,500 points to get $25 worth of a gift card with Airbnb. And if we go into this in a little bit more detail, you can see that you can always select the amount to be completely different. You can put in something like $140 and you would be able to use 14,000 points for that redemption. And like I said, you can either do physical or digital gift cards with this option. And really the only times I would ever redeem for gift cards with your Chase Ultimate Rewards points are for these on sale companies. As you can see here, all of the cards on this list are going to give you more than 1 cent per point in value if you use your points to get these gift cards. So one of them that catches my eye whenever I look at it is going to be this Fandango gift card, because I don't know about y'all, but I love going to movies. And as you can see here, instead of spending 2,500 points to get $25 worth of value at 1 cent per point with all the other gift card options, you would actually only have to redeem 2,250 points to get that same $25 worth of value. If you took that ratio in cents per point form, you would get 1.11 cent per point instead of the flat 1 cent per point that you'd usually get with the gift cards. And obviously there may even be some better deals out there if you started looking through these, but as I keep saying, if you're only going to get 1 cent per point in value from your gift cards, then there's really no reason not to do the cashback version instead, unless of course these gift cards are on sale and you can get more than 1 cent per point in value. Okay, perfect. And now we come to the first method of redeeming your points that I would highly suggest not using. And that method is going to be paying with points. So right now there are two different ways that you can pay with points online, and that's going to be through Amazon or PayPal. But as you can see here, if you scroll down into these little fine print areas, when using your points at checkout, each point is only worth $0.008, meaning that it takes 100 points to get 80 cents in redemption value. So if you do the math we've been doing this whole video, that's going to give you 0.8 cents per point in value, which is lower than our 1 cent per point standard with Chase points. Now it's going to be the same with Amazon and PayPal. So this brings up a perfect example again of why you'd want to always redeem your points for cashback instead of doing this method to get 1 cent per point in value. And then you can just go ahead and use that cashback that you redeemed at Amazon.com for more value. So while this does seem pretty convenient on the surface to be able to use your points with Amazon or PayPal, they're actually kind of tricking you here because you can get more value just by redeeming for cashback instead. Yeah, it might take you a couple more steps to be able to do that, but if you're making a lot of purchases on Amazon with your Chase points, then you're just wasting money that you shouldn't be. And as you can see here, I've never actually even enrolled for either of these programs because I never want to have the chance of accidentally using my points for these methods. And I will admit actually that whenever I first got started in the credit card game, whenever I had my first credit card, my Chase Freedom Student, I did redeem some of my points for an Amazon purchase. And thinking back on that, I really wish I would have seen a video like this first. Okay, now we'll move into the next method that you can redeem your points for, and that's going to be the Pay Yourself Back feature. The Pay Yourself Back feature is going to be a new feature that was added by Chase pretty recently. It's going to allow you to offset your credit card bill with certain purchases that fall into the categories that Pay Yourself Back offers. Now, as you can see here, the really cool thing about my Chase Sapphire Preferred card is that it's actually going to give my points a 25% boost when redeeming using this method. So my $154,000 24,298 points can be worth $1,928.73 when I use them for these eligible purchases. And if you were to use a card like the Chase Freedom Unlimited or Chase Freedom Flex, I believe you only get 1 cent per point in value when doing this. So that's one of the perks of getting the Chase Sapphire Preferred, is that it does give your points that 25% boost using Pay Yourself Back, and it also gives you that boost whenever you book travel through the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal, which we'll talk about later. But as you can see here, there are 2 eligible categories with my Chase Sapphire Preferred right now, and these might not be valid with your other Chase cards, so just make sure before you actually try to use them for this. And as you can see, we have Airbnb valid through the end of the month and charity valid through the end of the year. And it's pretty cool to see that they have charities as an option here. And one of the funny things that I talked about in one of my most recent videos is that Amex only allows you to redeem your points for charities at 0.7 cents per point. So with my Chase Sapphire Preferred, I'm almost getting double the value when doing that. Does that mean Chase is better than Amex? I don't know. And if you did have eligible transactions, those would show up down here, but unfortunately I don't have one of those on my account right now. But you'd be able to just select that transaction here and offset it with the points that you have in your account. Now, instead of moving over to the Transfer to Travel Partners tab, I'm gonna skip that one and do that one last, and we're gonna talk about travel through Chase's Ultimate Rewards portal. And once again, like I just mentioned about my Chase Sapphire Preferred giving me the 25% boost on Pay Yourself Back, it also gives it to me in the travel portal, so you can see that same value shown here. So now I'll give you all a quick example if you tried to book a flight through Chase's Ultimate Rewards portal. So let's say that I want to fly from my home airport in Austin, Texas to Hawaii at the end of October. Just waiting on Chase Yokoyama to invite me out to his place, and maybe I'll make this trip happen one day. And then once that page loads after you click search, you can see down here that it shows you all of the different flight availabilities, and you have the ability to filter down all of the flights that you want to use. For example, if you want to use American versus Delta versus United, or you can select the price range, or even the booking class if you'd wanted to. So for me, I'm just going to go ahead and leave all of those as is and sort the price from low to high. And we'll just go with this first flight right here just to show you all an example. So for this outbound flight out to Hawaii, you can see here that I'd be paying $451 in basic economy with United. But instead of using cash to actually book this flight, I could also use points. And in doing so, I'd only have to use 36,080 points instead of $451. And of course, if you divide that cash price by the amount of points that you use, this would give me a 1.25 cent per point valuation with my Chase points, which is exactly what we expected as we talked about at the beginning. So with my Chase Sapphire Preferred, I'll get that 1.25 cents per point on all travel booked through Chase Ultimate Rewards portal. But if I use a Chase Freedom card, for example, I'd only be getting 1 cent per point in value when doing this. So as long as the flight prices aren't lower on here than they would be if you booked a flight directly with the airline, then you could, again, redeem your points for cashback and go book that flight on United's website instead. But there are a lot of times where the price on United's website is actually going to be higher than Chase's Ultimate Rewards portal. So in that case, you'd want to use your points here instead. Now, obviously, you can find a lot more than just flights in Chase's travel portal. For example, you can find hotels, cars, activities, cruises, and full-on trips if you want to search through there. Now, I really could just spend all day on Chase's travel portal alone, and if you'd like to see a video on that, let me know down below. Now we're going to go ahead and move over to the redemption method that will give you the absolute most value for your Chase points, and that's really undeniable, and that's going to be the transferring to travel partners. Now I want to go ahead and preface this with 2 different things. First of all, the only way that you can actually transfer your points out to travel partners is going to be with a Chase Sapphire branded card. So if you only have a Chase Freedom Flex or Chase Freedom Unlimited, you're not going to be able to use this feature just yet, and it actually won't even show up in this top tab with your other cards unless it is a Sapphire card. And the second thing is that you can get more than even 10 cents per point in value when using some of these transfer partners. So I'm thinking I might make a whole entire series just on these travel partners in the future, because there really is so much to cover, and I'm only going to barely scratch the surface in this video. The first thing we should look at within this redemption method is going to be all the different transfer partners they offer, and I'll scroll through these here so you can see some of the best ones they have. And out of these, I've heard that a lot of people use British Airways, as well as Air France, of course. And then personally for me, for domestic flights, I like to use Southwest, and then Virgin Atlantic is also a pretty powerful one. I mean, really all of these you can get a ton of value from, but I just wanted to point out a couple that might actually pique your interest. On top of that, they also have hotel partners that give you a ton of value as well, those being IHG, Marriott Bonvoy, and the World of Hyatt. And for the most bang for your buck out of really all of the travel partners Chase has, I would be looking at the World of Hyatt for your hotels, because you can get some insane value out of this. And for the example for this one, I'm going to go ahead and show y'all Southwest, because that is one that I've already linked to my Chase account. I'm going to go ahead and click transfer points, and then of course you're going to want to go ahead and enter your information with Southwest. And once you do that, you're going to go ahead and click continue, and then you'll be brought to this screen where it's going to show you that point transfers are 1-to-1. Now with Southwest in particular, you have to be doing this in increments of 1,000 points, and that might be different for other ones, but I think that is a pretty common thing. So now what we can do, just to prove that this is going to give you more value than it would if you were to book through Chase's Ultimate Rewards portal, we're going to go ahead and say that we're going to want to book a trip from Austin to Nashville this time, because for this date range they actually don't have any flights to Hawaii, so I couldn't do a 1-to-1 comparison. But on top of that, we're going to go ahead and say that we want to do this booking in points. Now go ahead and click search, and as you can see here, we're just going to go with this first flight, of course, even though I probably would not be wanting to fly at 5:30 a.m. And for points, if we wanted to book this flight, we could do it for 5,825 points. Now, if I flip back over to the dollar cost of booking this flight, you're gonna see here that it's actually gonna be $99 instead. So if you go ahead and take that $99 cost that it would cost you in cash to book this flight and divide it by the 5,820 points that you could use instead of booking for cash, then that's gonna give you a value of 1.7 cents per point when using your points to redeem through transfer partners. And as you can see here, I literally did about 1 minute of searching for this example, and we already got 1.7 cents per point, which is more than the 1.25 cents per point you'll get through Chase's Ultimate Rewards portal. And like I mentioned, this is just scratching the surface. Most people won't even redeem their points through travel partners for less than 2 cents per point. And if that's the bar that people are holding, you can see that you can get a ton of value by using this method. Now, I promise you that I am gonna make videos on these travel partners in the future to see how you can get the most value from it, because this is something that really interests me, and it's kind of fun to hunt for those super high value redemptions. So I'd like to take you all on that journey with me. But going back to Chase's portal, let's say that I did want to book that flight, I'd have to transfer over 6,000 points to my Southwest account, and then I would literally just click continue. And then once I do that, it'll show me my little receipt here, and then I can actually confirm and submit and send those points over to Southwest, which should happen instantaneously. And of course, once I had those points in my Southwest account, I would log into their website and book that flight with my points and get a ton of value from my Chase Ultimate Rewards points. And this example right here showed you why I'm not the biggest fan of actually getting a co-branded card with a specific flight partner or hotel partner, unless they give you a ton of other credits or benefits outside of just being able to earn points in their point system. Because as you can see here, I could use all of my Chase cards to accumulate Chase points and then transfer them out to different travel partners and not just be stuck down to one. So at this point, you can see that you never really want to use your Chase Ultimate Rewards points to pay with points on sites like Amazon and PayPal. And what you really want to do is transfer those points out to travel partners to get the most value. So now if you're really stoked about the prospect of redeeming your points for a ton of value and you want to learn how to accumulate a ton of Chase points really fast, then you're going to want to have the Chase Trifecta in your wallet. I promise you that. To go ahead and learn more about that setup and why you need it in your wallet, go ahead and check out this video I did on it here. And from Odin and I, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel, and we'll catch you guys next time.